Why do we feel so wrong as women? It might be difficult for us to understand in ourselves. It is certainly very difficult for a good man to comprehend because he doesn't have this wiring in himself. Why do we feel so wrong? And why is our first reaction and response when an issue is brought up that we're wrong? The feeling of being wrong in us as women is created in camp victim. As women, we are very, very entrenched in what I talk about in camp victim, putting the power and control of our experience of ourselves and our lives outside of us onto other people, circumstances, our past. Definitely our husbands. We blame them for the issues and problems in the marriage. But we live in camp victim, externalizing our whole experience of ourselves and our lives to where we have no power and control within ourselves to change. And we have no ability living in camp victim. We have no ability to look at ourselves and see our own issues and problems and how we are creating them, and to then take the steps to change. Living in camp victim renders us powerless, and there is no self in camp victim. We have externalized our experience of self. So there's in that no one to look to within ourselves, as why the problems persist and why we have the experience we have. What happens in that when we live in camp victim, blaming our husbands, blaming our upbringing, blaming our past, blaming our parents, blaming anything and everything we can think of for our experience. The problem in that is we still see ourselves make the same mistakes, have the same unhealthy behavior patterns, make the same unhealthy choices over and over and over again, which leads us to beat ourselves up of why we can't change, why we have the same insecurities, why we have the same patterns, why we make the same choices that make us feel so miserable. We see ourselves doing that. But there's no change, which is why we beat ourselves up, which internally, in beating ourselves up, is the pattern and behavior that makes us feel so wrong in ourselves. Let me be very clear. It is not your upbringing. It's not your parents. It's not your husband. It's not your ex-husband. It's not your ex-boyfriends. It's not the patriarchy. It's not society. It's not magazines and social media and models and the expectations put on us of how we're supposed to look as women. Whatever it is in your victim story, it is not those things that make you feel wrong in yourself. I used to think it was all those things too. It's not. And there's no solution if we believe it's those things that make us feel so wrong in ourselves as women. You will be trapped forever. It only gets worse. Your insecurities only persist and get worse if you live in camp victim thinking it's something or someone else that's made you feel so wrong. No, it's the living in camp victim blaming others, which renders us completely powerless to change. And the difficult part is we cloud our awareness and cloud our perception when we live in camp victim, so we can't see any of this. That's why I'm here and trying to help women see this. Because if it's not held up in front of you, you'll never see it, and you'll be trapped in this miserable experience the rest of your life. I would have been trapped in this miserable experience the rest of my life if my mentor hadn't held up the mirror and helped me see these things within myself. When you live in camp victim thinking it's everyone else, and you watch yourself do the same things over and over and over and over and over again, we beat ourselves up. which makes us feel wrong. That's it. That's the root cause. There's no other reason. Even the men listening, it's not your wife's upbringing. It's not her parents. It's not her trauma. It's that we are stuck in being victims, and in that beat ourselves up mercilessly for our problems and patterns and choices, which makes us feel wrong, depletes us of any sense of value in ourselves, depletes us of any confidence, any secureness in who we are, that we are feel fundamentally wrong within ourselves, then can't see that and project that onto our husbands and others in our lives. It's us. We're the problem. When you can see that and understand that and accept that in yourself, that you are the problem, and it's not your parents, it's not your upbringing, it's not your past, it's not your circumstances, it's not your husband, it's you. It is incredibly empowering because now you can change. You can break out of the shackles of beating yourself up, of emotionally beating your husband up or others in your life. Take constructive steps forward to change. Feel good about yourself internally. Accept yourself for your shortcomings and flaws and all the wonderful parts of who you are as well. And then actually project that good feeling of who you are onto your husband and your life in different relationships. I call that the path of learning to be happy. Moving from can't victim to can't take responsibility. I am the problem, and the life I have and the experience I have is because of me and my choices and decisions, not what's happened to me, which actually through that process of making that journey makes us feel important to ourselves, that I'm worth it to break out of this and eat some humble pie and take responsibility and change. And creates a deep sense of value in oneself where you can accept who you are and want to be you and want your life and feel that nothing is missing, which I define as the experience of being happy. It's a healthy relationship with yourself and feeling good about who you are by learning to live and can't take responsibility and doing the things to show yourself that you are important and that you matter, which then you can make changes on the unhealthy behaviors you have. Stop beating yourself up. Feel good in yourself so that you stop emotionally beating your husband up or other people in your life. It can have a healthy, happy marriage. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and you want a path forward to change your woman ways and truly be happy in yourself, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program. And the Happiness Program teaches you to resolve the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself so that you can be the solution to the issues and challenges in your marriage and your life. You can find the link in the description below to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. For the good men listening who want a way to take back the power you've unknowingly given away to your wives, I also have a course for you called the Marriage Rescue Course for Good Men Only. And the course teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence so that you can navigate the relationship with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.